Bedu Pako Baramasa. This happened when I was 19 years old. I went on a trip to Uttarakhand. We went to Kumaon region.
Right, Kumaon.
And he taught me Bedu Pako, as well as some other songs like, I don't know if you know Thandore Thanno.
Pade ki hawa.
You know, a bedu is a fruit, right? And it ripens. And then there's kafla.
Apple, yeah, correct. Pan supari and bidi, yeah.
Pan supari, yeah. Not interesting, Negi. Yes, I remember. And I know that he's the one that wrote it. And to the sound of your voice each time.
ऐसे ही न जाने कितने देशों के चर्चों में बेडू पाको बारामासा बजता है। विदेशियों के मुंह से बेडू पाको बारामासा सुनना है तो आपको ऐसे ही कई वीडियोस YouTube पर मिल जाएंगे। इनमें से कुछ वीडियोस काफ़ी वायरल भी हुए थे। अभी तक आपने इन वीडियोस को YouTube पर देखा होगा, लेकिन क्या आप इन वायरल वीडियोस का सच जानते हैं? क्या आप जानते हैं कि उत्तराखंड का ये गीत अब कई देशों के चर्चों में विशेष समारोह में बजाया जाता है? दुनिया भर में इस गीत को पहुंचाने वाली महिला थी मेगन क्विनलन। अब मेगन क्विनलन कौन है? मेगन क्विनलन को कैसे ये गीत मिला? कैसे उन्होंने इसको अरेंज किया? कैसे उन्होंने इसकी रिदम बनाई? इन सब सवालों का जवाब लेने के लिए हमने संपर्क किया खुद मेगन क्विनलन से, और आज हमारे साथ खुद मौजूद हैं मेगन क्विनलन। उनसे जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि उन्होंने इस ट्यून को, इस धुन को कैसे बनाया, कैसे उनको बेडू पाको बारामासा के बारे में पता चला। तो चलिए बात करते हैं सीधे मेगन क्विनलन से। हाय मेगन, हाय, हाउ आर यू?
I'm fine, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you,
How
sir.
are you?
All good, all good. Thank you for joining us, and it's a pleasure to have you here and to talk. The song we have listening to since our childhood, and you have made it very beautiful with your music and all everything. So we just wanted to have a word with you around how you have found the Bedu Pako and how you arranged it for the chords you do. So I'll start the interview. The first question which I have is actually not the question. I would love to hear the Bedu Pako from the person who have arranged it actually. So if you can sing 2 lines for us, please.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Bedu Pako Baramasa.
That's really you have a sweet voice, and thank you very much. And so the first question which comes to my mind is that Bedu Pako is a Himalayan song and Uttarakhand song from where I belong. So how did you get the idea? How did you hear about this song, and how you get the idea to arrange it for the core?
Yeah, well, this happened when I was 19 years old. I went on a trip to Uttarakhand. I was in university in Canada, and I arranged to go with, I think there were 9 students, and the purpose of the trip was to do some trekking through the Himalayas, and then also to meet some people in the villages and just kind of learn about culture in Uttarakhand. And we went to Kumaon region.
Right, Kumaon.
We sort of, Dehradun was our base, and then we went into the mountains. And our guide, his name is Saji Kumar, and I haven't heard from him in over 10 years, but he's the one that arranged the whole trip. And then we had a kind of assistant guide named Mohan and I wish I knew his last name, but I don't. But he was so lovely, and he grew up in Garwal, I think, and he taught me Bedu Pako, as well as some other songs like I don't know if you know Thandore Thando.
ठंडो रे ठंडो मेरे पहाड़ की
Yeah,
आवाज.
yeah, yeah.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, so he taught me a few different ones, and I remember writing them down. And he was laughing a bit at me because I couldn't remember the melodies, so I had to write them down, which is such a Western thing. Um, and when I got back home, I was involved in a choir camp, and I just thought to do something fun with the singers, I could arrange one of these songs. So I really didn't have an intention of publishing it. There was someone in California who heard it, and they thought, "Oh, can we publish this?" And I had some complex feelings about it because it's from a different culture than my own. But I let them do it. So
So that's
that's
how
what
this
happened.
that's how the song came in, and today I
Yeah.
think in US, France, Spain, everywhere this Bedu Pako song is played in the churches and in the chorus, choral singing actually. So you found the Bedu Pako song, and I have heard your version of it, and which I feel is like it's slightly different from the original rhythm, the original song which we have. So how did you got that rhythm? How did you arrange it? And did you understand what the song is actually saying?
I understood what it was about. So Mohan taught me, a bedo is a fruit, right? And it ripens. I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while since I've even thought about it. And then there's kafla. Kafla is like a
Kafal. Yeah,
berry, right?
correct.
And then and there's some kind of like tobacco or like a kind of chewy
Bidi.
leaf.
Yeah, right. Correct.
And then
Pan supari
the
and
last
bidi. Yeah.
Panasapari, yes. And then the last bit is kind of like if you prick your foot, my foot hurts too. So it's like a friendship song, I think. Um, so I understood that, but to my shame, I didn't know very much about the music of the region. So really, all I did was just add my own choral influences to it. So the rhythm, it was really just something I did spontaneously for this choir camp. And it took me maybe like an hour. I just did it really fast.
And it has come out very lovely, very nice actually. So you come from different background, and you have your background, your studies in music itself, and you study medieval music. So just want to know something about you have heard words music and in Himalayan music. What difference you see in the Himalayan music versus your music, you Western music, you can say actually. So what is the difference between the two?
I think so. Obviously, I don't know that much about Indian music, but from my impression of it, there's a great value placed on being able to remember orally, so learning by ear, and then also improvisation, working and reworking themes.
Yeah.
Um, Rhythm can be quite complex, and in the Western tradition, I think there's more of an emphasis on timbre, like for a singer. Of course, in opera and that kind of thing, you really work on the vocal technique is very important. Whereas my impression with more Eastern forms of music is that it's very much about musicianship. What can you do with the musical themes, and what kind of music possibilities and music knowledge of the tradition do you have to make it evolve? Um, so yeah, so Western music, and then of course it's also Western music is much more dependent on written notation. Although in popular music, it's changing right now.
Correct.
It's much more recordings.
True, true. So let's talk about Meghan itself. So please do introduce yourself, like what you do for living, and how you are connected with the music, and how you started your music journey. That also we want to know actually.
Sure. Well, I started by playing piano when I was very young, and then I joined a children's choir, and it's actually the same children's choir that I arranged a song for called the Hamilton Children's Choir. And the conductor of that choir is an amazing person. She's now conducting the Toronto Children's Chorus. Her name is Zemfira Polov, and she comes from Kazakhstan. So from an early age, I had this curiosity about different cultures and the ways they sing, because she brought with her special music from Kazakh music, Russian music, other European compositions. And that really awakened my curiosity to different kinds of music around the world. So I work as a musicologist. I'm really interested in folk music and historical music. And medieval music has many similarities with folk music. There are different variations. And what I have been working on in the past is what music does to text. So when you have a song, it's a really interesting combination of music and text, and they influence each other. And in the medieval music that I work on, there has been a lot of work on the texts, the poems, but not so much on the melodies
Music,
that the music
right.
does. So that's some of what I do.
Nice. And so your the whole career is related to music itself. The next question which I want to ask is like, you have arranged Bedu Pako now. You know Thando Re Thando. And then do you have anything else in mind? Like, you will be in future, you will be arranging Thando Re Thando or some other song from my, birthplace actually. So just wanted to know about it.
Yeah, I did actually arrange Tandore Tando way back, um, there was another one too that all of the ones that I learned, I just made arrangements of for fun. I don't know if, at this stage, I'm not so comfortable publishing it because I've moved so far away from that in my own career, so it's
Sure.
very distant in the past for me. But I love those songs, and I remember when I came home from the trip, I really wanted to go back. I was like, I have to go back.
So when you're
So
coming
maybe,
back, so the question comes in like when you're coming back to Uttarakhand and make some
yeah,
melodies, some more melodies actually.
yeah. Well, this is motivation for me to make a trip. I'll just have to, I'll have to let that percolate.
Sure, you're welcome actually. So please come in and do make some beautiful melodies as you have made for Bedu Pako. So we are talking about Thandore Thando, and you have arranged it, and the Bedu Pako, the arrangement you did, it is now world famous. People are singing it all over the world. So why don't you, why you are not thinking to publish the Thandore Thando also? Is there any plan for that matter?
I'm not planning to do it, and I mean, partly it's because I I think it must have been like 16 years ago that I learned it, but also I if I were I would need to find a really ethical way of doing it, because I know that who is it now? There's a singer who wrote this song, Thandore
Narendra
Thando,
Singh
for
Negi.
example. Yes. Can you
His
say it again? His name?
Its name Narendra Singh Negi.
Narendra Singh Negi. Yes, yes, I remember. And I know that he's the one that wrote it. So I would need to have contact with him and his consent.
Right.
So that's quite a job, right? And then um, and then there's the issue that it's a different culture from my own. So I think if I were to do it, it would have to be some kind of collaborative process, and I would
Correct.
want the people from your area, you guys, to be involved somehow.
Sure, we will definitely do that because we would love to hear it. And Narendra Singh Negi, Negida is the pioneer of Uttarakhand actually. So he is our history, he is our geography actually. So we would love to get a collaboration with you and to have Thando Re Thando different in a different version actually. So we'll be happy for that. And if I don't know, it's been 16 years for you. I don't know if you remember any line of Thando Re Thando, if you can sing for us, if any.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember the beginning. It's like, and then I remember the refrain. Thandore kando mera
Pare ki hawa,
hawa kani
Thando Re Thando.
pare kando. Yeah, it's that's
So
all I
I'm
remember.
not a singer actually, so I'm just trying to help you out here, just to remind you the words. So it's really you have a melodious voice actually. So we are talking about Himalayas, we are talking about Himalayan music, and you yourself is in Sweden right now, and I think you come from Canada, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So just just to in your own language, in which song you are comfortable with, we would love to hear from your side. Any song which is close to your heart, and you can sing for us.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna need to think for a second.
Sure,
Um, well, I could sing a song that I wrote.
please.
I can just sing. Okay, mm, I can just sing the refrain
Sure.
because I don't want to sing the whole thing. But and to the sound of your voice each time I catch myself sleepwalking through life. I wanna pick up the pieces of my broken heart and sing a song with you.
Really, very nice, very nice. You have a beautiful voice, and I'm saying it again and again, but I can't stop it actually. So, it's really good. And so, the last question which I want to ask is please come to Uttarakhand. So, if you are coming back to Uttarakhand, and Thando to Thando is one of the thing, if you come to Uttarakhand, so is there any plan you will be working on Himalayan music, or you will be arranging something else, or you will be writing a song in Hindi or Gadwali or Kumaoni itself, if that registers in your mind?
Well, an idea just sort of came up for me. Right now, I'm training to be a sound artist. So I've been working in studios in Stockholm, making compositions with different recordings and sounds. And I think if I were to come to Uttarakhand again, I would love to record the different sounds of the landscapes and of the towns and make something beautiful from that. And I would love to learn a bit more of the language and learn some more music. I don't know what I would do with it, but we perhaps could do something.
You will do magic with it actually, for sure. And it's the choral singing, which is, I'm not from a music background actually, so choral singing is something new for me. Can you please explain what is choral singing and what is this choir is called as?
So choral singing is really just singing together with other people. But in European countries, it has a really long tradition. It goes back to the singing of monks together in church. So they would sing, they would pray every few hours, and the monks would sing. And in order to sing collectively, they would write the notes down so that you would have a sort of homogeneous. You would sing as a unit, and then as music started to be composed in more than one voice, so that's in like the 13th, 14th centuries, you started to get people singing together in different harmonies. And a lot of this happened in the church, but then also outside the church. And sometimes material would migrate between the church and sort of more secular settings. So choral music developed from pretty early in the Middle Ages, and nowadays lots of people sing in choirs, especially in Sweden. And the ideal is really that you even though everyone uses their own individual voice, you create a sound that's very blended and beautiful, and you can sing in many different harmonies. And there's a huge repertoire for it. So you can sing notated music. Sometimes choirs improvise together. It's not as common, but and everyone's reading from the notes their own part. And the choir that I mentioned is the Hamilton Children's Choir, but I've conducted and sung in many choirs in England, in Norway, in Sweden.
And I think as much I know, you were in Oxford University also. So you were there, a female conductor, first female conductor in 1,000 years. So, so that's actually that's very fabulous actually. The last question which I have right now is, when we search about Bedu Pako Baramasa on internet or on YouTube, we do get name occasionally Elena Sarkova. So, who is Elena Sarkova, and how you have collaborated with her?
So Elena Sharkova is a conductor of a children's choir in California, and she is the person that sort of discovered my arrangement. I think it was through a recording of my own choir at our concert, and she's the one that asked me if I wanted to publish the arrangement. So it's her. She's sort of the editor of the choral series, of this series of music publications, of which mine is a part. So so she's the one who brought it to the public.
And it's been magic actually. So Meghan, thank you very much for giving your time and to speaking with us. And it was wonderful to talk to you and to meet you. And I hope that when you come to Uttarakhand, we will surely meet here. And at the same time, I would request you, if possible for you, if you can sing this Bedu Pako arrangement in your voice and can send me the recording, if it is possible for you.
Yeah, I think there's actually, back when I was like 19, 20, we did a concert and it was recorded. So there should be a version I have somewhere.
Please.
Singing this solo with the choir.
Sure, please. I'll be waiting for that actually. Thank you, Meghan. Thank you very much for giving us your time, and thank you for talking. That's lovely. Thank you very much. मेगन क्विनलिन जो कनाडा से हैं, स्वीडन में म्यूज़िक पढ़ाती हैं, उस महिला ने एक ट्यून सुनकर उसे दुनिया भर में पहुंचा दिया, हमारे उत्तराखंड को दुनिया भर में पहुंचा दिया। इस पर हमें गर्व होना चाहिए और मेगन क्विनलिन और स्टीफन फ्यूल जैसे लोगों के बारे में हमें दुनिया को बताना चाहिए कि इन लोगों ने हमारी पहाड़ की संस्कृति को बचाने के लिए प्रयास किया है। जब विदेशी कर सकते हैं तो आप और हम क्यों नहीं। अगर आपको ये इंटरव्यू पसंद आया हो तो कोशिश करिए कि आप इसे शेयर करें ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को मेगन क्विनलिन के बारे में पता चले और ऐसे लोगों को हम बढ़ावा दे सकें। तो ये ख़ास इंटरव्यू था आपके लिए। उम्मीद करते हैं आपको पसंद आया होगा। ऐसे ही कई और इंटरेस्टिंग इंटरव्यूज़ हम आपके लिए लेकर आने वाले हैं। तब तक बने रहिए घुघुती के साथ।